you from the IPG Packaging Lab. So one of the things I wanted to focus on today is on materials testing. So when we think about package testing, we often think about the transit testing, which includes drop testing, vibration, compression. However, it's also very important to do materials testing and application testing. So I wanted to go through a couple of these specific tests just to show what we're capable of and how we can support a better customer experience. So the first test I wanted to show is a test that's done on pretty much any material that a package is made out of, whether it's paper or plastic. A tensile and elongation test is most likely to be performed and used on the base material. So this first test is going to just be that, a tensile and elongation of paper. So mostly just put it into the Instron, which is our material tester, and then what we're gonna do is it's going to pull the paper apart until it breaks. Okay? Which happens really quick because it's paper. So this is a baseline for the material, and pretty much any material that you're going to use is going to use this test. So in addition to just testing the materials that packages are made out of, we also do application-specific or package-specific tests. So I'm going to use our paper mailer as an example. So when you think about this as a finished product, there are tests that need to be done to make sure that it meets the requirements of the actual application. So the one test that we perform on this is called a side seal. And this seal right here needs to be at a certain level. It has to have a minimum performance in order for it to work well at a customer. So as you know, when you use a mailer, you're going to put a lot of stress on this seal, so it requires a minimum force. So in order to test that, we do something called a side seal test. This is performed on paper mailers, plastic mailers, anything that might have a seal. So a flexible packaging, if you've seen stand-up pouches, things like that, we'll perform a seal test on them. So now I'm gonna move this down to the right spot. All right. And then we're just going to put one half of the seal on top and one half on the bottom so that we show that we're going to be pulling the seal apart and measuring the force it takes to pull that seal apart. All right, and then we just turn it on and it pulls it. Let's see. All right, so when we make our mailers, we have a minimum required force it takes to do this. That way, when we make our mailers, we have a quality customer experience. So. And then in addition to materials testing and the actual package testing, we are also capable of performing application-specific tests. So, and this may not be a test that's already created. We could create this for you or help you get there using data. So, for example, I'm going to show you a test that we're working on developing for our paper mailer. So, when you think about how the customer actually is going to use this mailer, there's going to be a lot of repetitive motions. So that includes opening the mailer, putting something inside of it, and then closing it. So it's important that all of these things are easy to do and meet a specific force, things like that. It's because in the real world situation, a packer could be doing this motion several hundred times in an hour. So one of the tests that we're working on here is an opening test. And in order to do that, we've actually 3D printed an attachment to the Instron. So I'm going to show you how we're performing this test as well. So this test it's going to have a top apparatus here that we've 3D printed. And then what we'll do is we just slide the mailer into it, and then we put the fold into the bottom clamp like this. And now we're going to slowly pull this apart. So in reality, I would do this at several different speeds to show how easy or hard it is to open up the mailer. So for this test, we'll take this data, and then what we will do is we will be able to present to a customer specific data on how it's going to perform in their specific application. So this creates both a better customer experience for our customer as well as our customer's customer.